Hi, so I'm Rachel Corsini, and I am a 2023 debut novelist. My book, Sushi and Sea Lions, is a women's fiction with a heavy romance plot. If you're interested in that, it takes place, deals with a woman in her 30s who kind of has a life collapse and has to rebuild her life. But that's not what we're here to talk about. I just thought you wanted to know a little bit about me first. Um, I've decided to talk on the topic of planning because I think that this is a really interesting to uncover. And that, we all plan books and plan the way we write very, very differently. And I don't think there's a right or a wrong way to plan a book, or a short story or a novella. But I'm going to talk about my process, and maybe that works for you. And so then you could, try it out for yourself. So when I'm planning a book, um, I almost don't even know that it's going to be a book at first. So what happens is I see a moment or I see a scene and the characters and what's happening. And I take that and I start writing that down. This is the start of my planning. I know it might be a little unorthodox, but that's what I do. So I start and I write that down. And then I have what's called staring at the wall time, where it's what happens next or what happens before this, um, what happens a couple of days later. Um, and then what starts to happen is I start to get these snippets and bullet points of scenes and story that come to me. And so what I do, because obviously I can't write every scene in every second that it comes to me, I just don't have the time. Sometimes I'm not in the right headspace. Sometimes I just can't get words onto the page for whatever reason. So what I do is I take those kernels, those like little nuggets, and I create a bullet point list. This is my plan at the bottom of whatever document I'm working on, which starts to turn into this very sparse um, outline of a book that I start to build upon. Um, Also, once I finish with that bullet point outline and that sparse, like scene here, scene there, scene here, that's when I really start to go in and really think about, okay, now what's missing? What did I leave out? And so that's when I start to like fill in the blanks more. So this initial planning process is kind of messy. I know it's a messy way to write, um, but it's what works for me. And maybe you'll try it out. Maybe it'll work for you. But I know some people need like more detailed outlines and work from that better in the planning process. That sometimes their outlines are 10, 15, 20 pages long, almost the size of a short story or novella, and that's what they use to create their novels. I know some people who write their synopsis first. I know some people who plan by writing a pitch first, so that they know like what the whole focus of the novel is, and they feel like it already has a purpose. There's many different ways that you can plan. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed my video. And yeah, okay. Have a good day, guys.